Good morning, members. In today's session, let us talk about how we can use two softwares, that is Asana and Clockify, for the purpose of task management and time management. My name is CA Anvesh Shetty. I'm a practicing chartered accountant from Mangalore. So today's session, I'm going to divide into two parts. In the first part, I'll talk about how you can use Asana in your office in order to manage your team, in order to manage the task. And in the second part, I'll talk about how you can use one more software, that is Clockify, in order to manage time in a better manner. At the very end, I'll also talk about how to integrate these two software, that is how to link these two softwares. So when I'm talking about the first part, that is when I'm talking about Asana for the time management, before explaining you how to get started, I want to show you how your office dashboard will look like. So every day when I come to office, this is how my first dashboard will look like. So I have created a separate dummy project so that I can show you the inner functioning. So what I have to do is I have to open this particular task. And once I click on the board view, this is the task what is, or this is the dashboard what is visible to me. So if you can see, the column what I see is to-do list. So to-do basically refers to those tasks which have been undertaken, but no work has begun on that particular task. For example, let us say that a client approaches me and he says he has to incorporate a partnership firm. So all that I have to do is first I need to enter that particular task or set task in my Asana. So it is as simple as, if you can see this plus mark, all that you have to do is you have to click on this plus mark and you have to write the task details. So we know that it is partnership firm registration. So what will I do is I'll simply write partnership registration, and I will write the name of the particular concern. Let us say it is PQR. Okay, it is PQR company is the firm which wants to incorporate using my service. So I have created this task. So once I create the task, is it the end? Answer is no. So after creating the task, I need to allocate this particular task to either one of my staff or one of my article. So what will I have to do? I have to click on this task. I will click on the task and the task will open. So here, if you can see assignee, that means whom I'm assigning this particular task to. So I'll click on, so here you can see an icon. I'll click on this task and all the details of my staff will appear here. So all that I have to do is I have to allocate this task. Let us say I give it to one of my staffs. Then after allocating the task to him, I have to also specify the due date by which the task has to be completed. So I'll say today is 25th of July. So I will say that by 28th of July. By 28th of July, that is by next Tuesday, I want the task to be completed. Next, I also have to set priority. If I have to want set priority, again, it is left to the members if they want to set priority or not. Let us say I want to set priority and I want to say that this particular task has to be done on high priority, that it has to be done on Tuesday. So that gives a message to my staff saying that if he has any other work in hand, which is not of high priority, then he has to stop that task and get on with this task. Then I can also write description. I can write description as to what exactly has to be done, or if I'm having in some special discussion with the client or some particular information which I want to communicate with my staff, I can write in my description box as well. Now, along with this, let us say that partners come and they give certain documents to me. Let's say they give their PAN to me or they give their Aadhaar card to me, and I want to add or I want to attach those details as well. So can I do that? Answer is very much yes. So here at the top right window, if you can see an attachment bar, you have to just click on this and you can choose from where do you want to attach it. That is, if it is in offline version, if it is in your computer, you can click on your computer, then you can upload the file. But alternatively, if members are doing work from home and they have all the data in the Dropbox, or they have in Google Drive, or they have in OneDrive, they can automatically pull data from those accounts as well. So I prefer all my data is there in my laptop. So I'm going to click on your computer and I'm going to pull data from my computer. So let us say one PDF file I'm attaching, and if you, as you see, the file is being uploaded here. So now this particular file will be visible to my staff as well. Now, after uploading the file, now one more thing that we have to discuss is I have created a task. Now, can one task be divided into further subtasks? Answer is yes. So how to do this? If you can see one tab here, something called as add subtask. I have to click on that add subtask and I have to create the subtask. For example, if it is going to be a partnership registration, and if I want to break it down into 4 subtasks, let us say the first subtask is going to be making partnership deed, and the second subtask is let's say applying for PAN, and the third subtask is something to be GST registration, and the fourth subtask is bank account. Okay, opening of a bank account. So these are the 4 subtasks I'm creating. And again, you can type the subtask in length just to save the time of members. I'm just writing in a very short form. So now after creating this subtask, one more question which can come, that is, I have allocated this particular task to one of my staff, let us say Rishabh. Is it mandatory or is it necessary this all this subtask also be done by the same staff? Not necessary. So the entire task in charge is Rishabh, but subtask can be given to somebody else as well. Now how can I allocate the subtask to somebody else? So if you can see here, the at the right there is an arrow mark. I need to click on that and subtask will open, and here I can assign it to somebody else. Let us say I'm going to assign it to one more staff of mine, and the subtask is allocated. Now for the subtask also, I can specify a different due date. Original task I said by next Tuesday it has to be ready, but subtask, let us say that I want it to be ready by the end of the day itself, then I can choose this. By today only I want it to be ready. I can write a description. Now, can I have a subtask inside subtask? Answer is yes. Answer is yes. I can have subtask. So as far as creating subtask, it is endless. You can create as many subtasks what you want. Now, so these are the things. And again, inside that also, for that particular subtask, if I want to attach the file, I can do that as well. So this is how I can create task in Asana. As simple as that, just clicking on the plus mark and I can get started. Now, one more question will come. I have created this task, but how will my staff get to know? Whether will my staff get to know or whether do I have to call him and intimate him? Answer is no. That is the best part about using this software. So if they are part of my team, when I'm setting up this particular application, what will I do is I'll add all my staff's email ID as part of my team. And once they accept that particular email and then they become part of my team, every time I allocate the task to them, they will get a notification as simple as they get a WhatsApp message. As simple as that, they will get a notification in their mobile phone. That is to say, you can use Asana everywhere. That is, you can use Asana with the help of a web application. What you see, I'm using Asana with my Google Chrome. In the same manner, you can use Asana in your iPad. You have a application in App Store that you have to download. You can use it in iPhone. Then again, there is one more application in App Store. You download it, and you can also use it in your Android mobile phone. Just like you use any other software, any other application, you can also use your team management software. So if they have that application in the mobile phone, if your staff has that mobile application in their mobile phone, then immediately they'll get a notification. Now let us say my staff does not have a mobile application, so he will not get that notification, but he will get an email. So whatever the email I registered for that particular email ID, he will get the email as to this task is assigned to you and this is the due date, so he can start working on that. Now, so we have studied or we have learned how to create the task. It is as simple as clicking on this. Now, let us say that my staff has started working on that particular task. How do I get to know? So whenever my staff is starts to work on this particular registration of PQR company, all that he has to do is he has to just, if he's using his mobile phone, he has to click and drag. If he's using his computer, then he has to again click this and drag and put under in progress tab. So as simple as that. So when he brings it to in progress tab, one more notification will come to me saying that this staff has moved this task to in progress. So I'll also get a notification. I'll also get information saying that the work has started. Now, members might be aware that most of the times when client comes and gives certain information to us, he may not give 100% information. So we will reach out to the client and we will ask some more details. For example, let us say I want a bank statement, or I want PAN card, I want Aadhaar card, I want digital signature from the client. Now let us say I've asked for the digital signature from my client, but client has not given to me. In such situation, if my staff has not obtained the digital signature from the client, all that he has to do is, rather than keeping the task in progress, he has to pull the task to hold. That is, task is kept under abeyance, the particular task is under hold. That says that this task is not completed, not because of default or not because of fault of my staff, but because of some uh, delay from the client side. So every day morning when I come, the first thing which I look at is what task under hold and why these tasks are under hold. It might be because of there is no response from the client, or it might be because there is no proper knowledge to my client, or sorry, no proper knowledge on the part of my staff or articles. Then I can discuss, and I can again, after resolving all those issues, and I can again make them push it under in progress tab. So these are the basic functionalities. Now let us say the task is done. So in your office, if you have this mechanism of maker and checker, that is, one person does the task and there is one more person to review or check the task. It could be chartered accountant themselves, or if there is a mechanism of having a manager in your office, then once the task is complete, from the maker point of view, they need to move the task again, click and drag and put under review tab. So once they put under the review tab, that means task is completed, but it requires to be checked or reviewed by another staff. So once another person reviews it, then the reviewer can pull this task and put under one more tab. So if you can see, this tab is done. So done refers to the task is complete. But whether the task is complete in its every sense, answer is no. Once the task is done, it has to be either built or not built. Not build, maybe it could be a free task what you're doing, a pro bono task you're doing, you're filing income tax return for free, or doing partnership registration for free. In any case, once the task comes under done tab, it has to be either moved to billing or pro bono, that is free of cost. So members, all that they have to do is pull under the bill, or if it is to be billed, or if it is free of cost, then they have to move it to the pro bono, that is free. We are not going to charge any money for this. So if it is under billing, that implies that the person who is responsible for raising an invoice has to raise the invoice, then they have to send it to the client. Now, how do they get to know that what is the amount that they need to raise? So all that I have to do, let us say that I am the one who will inform my staff who is in charge of raising the invoice, that I will ask one of my staff, let us say staff, to raise the bill. I'll say raise invoice, of rupees, whatever the money you want to write, you can write here, or if you want to keep it confidential, just you have to write raise invoice, that's it, and you just have to comment on this. If members did observe, then what I'm trying to do is I'm writing first yet, that is the basic WhatsApp feature what we normally see whenever we are replying to any message, or whenever you are tagging a person. All that we have to do is write yet, and there will be a drop down in which I need to choose to which staff I am including, to which staff I am mentioning here, or to which staff I am asking to do this particular task. Then all that I have to do is comment. The moment I click on comment, my staff will get the notification. So you can use this comment box, what you see here, you can use this comment box for a seamless communication between your team. So all the discussion will be available for you for a documentary purpose or for a future reference. So this is basic functionality of how one can use Asana in their office. Now, one small disclaimer which I want to give, or one particular thing which I want to clarify, is Asana is a task management software, not an office management software. What is the difference between a task management software and office management software? The basic difference is, in task management software, you have to create each and every task. So there is no recurring task what you can create. That is, let us say there is monthly GST return filing. So every month you need to create this task and it has to be filed accordingly. But let us say that majorly what I do is partnership firm registration or company registration or some other task which involves or which has multiple subtasks. So in order to save my time, there is one small thing that I can do, or there is a one small feature, something called as duplicate the task. So partnership registration, I have created 4 subtasks in that. So all that I have to do is I will duplicate the task, and they will ask what are the things that I need to duplicate. Here I'll just change the name from XY. What, okay, so XYZ if it is a task, then all that I have to do is I'll click on duplicate the task, and instead of XYZ company, I will make it as RST company. And if I want subtask to be there, yes, I don't want attachment to be duplicated, so I'll remove attachment and I'll just say create task, and a duplicate task will be created here. Or I can rename, and I want to remove the word duplicate as well, so that it comes as totally a different task. I can do this as well. Now one more thing which I want to add here is, you have sent the bill. So bill is been raised and bill is also sent. So whenever the bill is sent, your staff can update you on the same thing by writing in the comment box. Now let us say the money has been received in the firm account. So this particular transaction is complete in its all aspect. Then what you have to do is you have to mark the task as complete. So that means the money has come, task is completed, whatever has to be delivered is also delivered. So nothing more that has to be done as far as this task is concerned. So this is how you can use Asana for your office management purpose. Now, whether every office should have similar columns, answer is absolutely no. I leave it to the wisdom of members. If you feel that there has to be one more column, you can definitely add it. How to add one more column? That is, you have to click on here, add column, and after adding column, you can name it anything which you want it to be. So you can add multiple columns. There is no restriction as to how many columns that can be created. So this is one view that you can have. So this is the board view. If you can see, this is the board view which I personally prefer. So there is one more view you can see, that is list view, in which all the tasks will be visible to you in a list. You can see which are the high priority tasks on the base of due date, on the base of assignee. So you can actually filter the task and view it. Now next one is, there is also a feature called as calendar. If you click on that calendar, you can get to know that on which date what task has to be done, so that you can plan your schedule in a better way. So this is the basic dashboard feature. For a couple of more minutes, I want to talk about some more functionalities what I can have with Asana. That is, if I want to search, let us say immediately I receive my client call, and my client wants to know what is the status of work which is done in his task. So let us say I'm talking about RST company, that the partnership registration. So all that I have to do here is, instead of finding these hundreds of tasks, all that I have to do is I have to type the name of the company. And if you can see, the software will immediately filter out, and it will show you the task. And if I click on that task, it will show what is been done in that task. So now, how do I know what is been done in that task? Is, you can have a policy in your office which will say that before articles or before staff, before they go home, every day at the closure of day, they have to write in comment box that what was done and what is pending. So every time I receive a call from my client or a message from my client, all that I do is I refer back to this taskbar, and I update the client on what is been done and what is pending. So this is how you can use Asana. And now let us say that you want to use filter functions. Now filter function is to see uh, one staff's performance. That is, I want to know, let's say there is a staff, I want to know how many tasks which is given to him is yet to be started, which is already started, which is under hold, which is done, which is to put under review. So I want to know my staff wise detail. Then I can use a function called as filter function, which you can see here. I can use filter, and if I want to just see my work, I can do just my task. Or if I want to use custom filter and I want to see employee wise what was been allocated, then I can very much do on that aspect as well. Now, as far as Rishabh, one employee is concerned, this is the only task which I have given to him. So I can get to know that at presently, he's not doing any task. What was given to him is already built. So he is free, and I can allocate him more work. So members can use a filter function as well. So this is about how do you use Asana, and all your communications, all the messages, all you write to somebody else in the comment box, or somebody writes to you, it will appear in your inbox. So once you open your inbox, every message which is written by your employees to you, or by you to your employees, will be reflected in your inbox. So that is nothing but that the look of it is almost similar to your WhatsApp chat box. So this is how you can use Asana, and there are so many other features as well which I leave to the members to try it out. Now let us come to the second part of the video, that is how we can use Clockify for the purpose of time management. So all that you have to do is, so here there is a task, something called as partnership registration XYZ company. So I'll open this task. Let us say that I start working on this task. So all that I have to do is at the top corner, at the top of your task window. So you see something called a start timer. All that you have to do is click on start timer. Now, this particular window is not of Asana. This is a separate software altogether, or a separate application altogether, something called as Clockify. The moment I click on start timer, the timer starts running. Now, how do I know what is the time that is already recorded? So I have to go to another website, something called as Clockify. So this is my Clockify dashboard. This is what I see for my time management purpose. And if members can see at the top right corner here, the time is ticking. That is, it has been 33 seconds that I've been working on this task. Now, let us say that I work for 1 hour on this task. I work for 1 hour. Then after that 1 hour, all that I have to do is I have to stop this task. So how can I stop the task? Because unless I stop the task, there is no proper time tracking that I can do. So if members are working on a task, or even if their staffs or articles are working on the task, all that they have to do is before they start the task, they need to come to Asana, and then they are supposed to click on start the task. Then once the work is done, then they have to click on stop the task. Now this stopping the task can be done in three ways. Let me explain you one by one. The first way how you can stop the task is, in Asana itself there is a button which you can see, something called a stop timer. The moment you click on stop timer here, the time will stop there. Alternatively, the second way is, you come to the Clockify website. You come to the Clockify website, and at the top right you can see a stop button here. So all that you have to do is you have to click on stop, and the task will stop now, and the time will get recorded. So here if you can see, it says partnership registration XYZ company. This is the product, this is the task detail, and this is the time at which it task was started, and this is where it is stopped, and this is the time which is spent on that task. Now also let us say that I want to also talk about what is the amount that I want to charge. I can i can say whether it is a billable task or not billable task. If it is billable, then let it be in blue color. If it is not billable, I'll click on it, and it shows that it is a not billable task. As of now, let me keep it as a billable task itself. Now, so we studied that, or we learned that I can start the task in Asana, I can stop the task in Asana, or I can come separately to Clockify and I can start and stop it. There is a third way, which is the most interesting way and my favorite way. That is, you have a mobile application. You have a mobile application by in Android, so that you have to download. So you go to Play Store and type Clockify, and you download that app, and you can stop the task using your mobile application as well. So if your staffs are on some outside audit, they don't have access to system, all that they have to do is start the timer and stop the timer using the mobile application as well. Now let us talk about what are the other things as far as time tracking is concerned I can do here. So this is as far as my timing is concerned. Let us say that I want to also view, and this is the most important part, that I want to see what my staffs are doing, what my articles are doing. How can I do that? So if members can see, there is a separate dashboard, there is a separate icon or a separate button, something called as dashboard. So I have to click on dashboard. So this is the best part of it, and I can see, as of now which of my staff is working on what file. So I can say that different staffs are working on different tasks. So all these are the dummy projects that they're working on. So uh, I can also see what is the time which is spent, and at present I can also see that how many of my staffs are working and how many are not working. So if you can see here, I see that 1 2 3 4 employees are working, and 1 2 3 are not working. And if they're not working, then that means they don't have any task in their hand, and I can assign a different work to them. And not just this, I can generate various reports. I can generate a summary report, I can generate a detailed report. Now, why anybody would want to generate a detailed report? Let us say that I want to bill my client. At the time of billing my client, I want to know what is the time that is spent on that particular client. So I have various filter options which is available to me. So if you can see here, I have a client wise filter, so I can choose which of the client that I want to see what time was spent towards that task. Or let us say that I want to know that how much time did my staff spend in this particular day or week or month towards office work. So I can also filter employee wise, I can filter client wise, I can filter task wise, I can filter project wise. So there is a detailed view of entire time what is spent. So this is where I feel in absolute control of what is happening in my office. So often members ask me a question that whether Clockify can be used as a standalone software without using it with Asana. I'd say yes, definitely. So if you already have a software which you're using, let's say you're using MyTask for your office, you're using Papilio for your office, that is some of the most popular office management software for CA fraternity, then can I use Clockify? Answer is yes, you can use Clockify, but whether integration is possible. What is integration here? That is, whenever I'm starting a timer, I need not go to Clockify website. I can directly start the timer within the Asana itself. Whether that is there, I'm not aware of the fact. As far as my understanding goes, that is not possible within MyTask or Papilio. But the question is, can you use Clockify as a separate standalone application without having Asana integration? Is yes, you can use it, but only drawback would be if both the softwares are not integrated with each other, then the only drawback would be this will not happen. Now, what is this? So here, if members did observe, all that I did is start timer, stop timer. I did not even tell towards which task I'm starting the time, stopping the time. But these two softwares are integrated, that is linked, and my Asana will communicate with my Clockify and it will say that this timer is running for this task. So I am not typing this. This is actually pulled from, this is actually fetched from Asana itself. So if members want this level of fetching or retrieving of data from Asana, then I suggest them to use Clockify with Asana. So this both software has to be linked together. So this is the basic aspect, and there are certain other things as well, that how do you create team in if members remember, then I said in Asana first you create an ID, then you invite your team members. Same way, even in Clockify also, you have to create your ID. At the same time, you also have to invite your team members. So if you can focus on the team bar here, so you have to click on team, and if there is a new employee who has joined your company, then you have to add them. You have to add their email ID. They will get an email and they have to accept the email and they will be a part of your team. So once they're part of your team, whatever they do, every time they start the time, stop the time, it will be reflecting in your dashboard. It will come in the detailed reports. This report you can export it to Excel, and you can do further analysis as well. So this is brief, or this is in summary how members can use Asana as well as Clockify for their office management purpose. Now let us start talking about the technical aspects. That is, how do I get started with Asana? And also, how do I get started with Clockify? So we have understood the functioning. Now let us get started with this software. I'm going to take a couple of more minutes and I'll give you a quick introduction of how to get started with this software. First, let us talk about Asana. So I'm going to close this window and I'm going to re-log in as a fresh user. So before getting started, I have created a separate Gmail ID only for the purpose of Asana and Clockify. And I suggest all the members, if you want to use this application, then I strongly suggest you to create a separate email ID and not use your professional email IDs. That is because every time there is some notification, it will come to your email ID, and your email ID will be bombarded with these emails. So create a separate email IDs, and also ask your staffs or articles to have a separate email ID for just task management and time management purpose. And for both of these application, use the same email ID so that it will facilitate integration. So how do I get started? That is, I'll come to Google. I open my Google Chrome and I'm just going to type Asana, and this is what you see. And before we get started with how to log in, let me show the pricing part. Now this is very important, that whether do I have to pay any money to use Asana. So if your team size is less than 15 members, if your team size is less than 50 members, then 15 members, then it is free. And they also promise it is free forever. That is, even this year, next year, and 10 years down the line, as long as your team size is going to be less than 15, you can use it for free. Now, what do you mean by free, or what do you mean by 15 users? That is, at any given point of time, the team size has to be less than 15. So if your team size is already 15 and two members leave your office, then your team size will become 13. If two new members come, it will be 15 again. So uh, at any given point of time, it cannot be more than 15. And as far as storage is concerned, it is unlimited file storage even in the free version. But the only restriction is 100 MB per file. That is, if you're uploading a tally data, then it cannot be more than 100 MB. That is, per file they have a restriction, but as far as total file storage is concerned, there is no such restriction. So that goes on to say that you can actually upload your entire the entire server file, whatever is there in your server file, to Asana. So whether they offer good security, I'd say they offer best in the industry security for your data, so you don't have to worry on that aspect. So you can create a separate project. In Asana as server. I'm not talking about different Asana account. In the same Asana account only, you can create multiple projects. So initially I showed you that I have a dummy office and office. So dummy office I just created as a separate project to show you how things are done. Same way you can have a separate project, something called as server files, or Dropbox, or uh, files. So where you can actually upload the backup of your office. So if there is a work from home environment, any employee or any staffs, any chartered accountant can access their office file using Asana itself, or you can integrate between your Google Drive or OneDrive. That can also be done. So I hope as far as the pricing part is clear, uh, we are good to go. And there are certain premium features, and for a CEO office, I don't think, or I don't believe that is necessary at least initial stages. And if members feel at the later part that you want to avail those premium features, you can upgrade to a premium plan. So this is the pricing part. Now again, I want to go back and I want to go to their basic website. So after coming here, so they'll say there is option that I want to try it for free. So I'll click on try for free, and after trying for free, they will ask what is the email ID that I want to begin with. So I'll give the fresh email ID which I created just for this demonstration purpose, that is ca.mangalore123@gmail.com. So once it is done, signing up will begin, and please verify your email address. So I have kept my email also open here. So I have received this email from Asana. So I'll open this and I'll click on verify email address. Now, as simple as that, your your Asana account is opened. Then they will say, what's your full name? And I'll just give my full name. I'll say my full name is Anvesh Shetty, and they will ask a password that I have to create. I will create a password as well for my Asana accounts, and I will continue. And what kind of work do you do? So here you are supposed to select what is the type of industry that you are in. See, office comes under operation. So I'm going to click, I'm into operation team, and I'm going to click continue. And they will say, how do you want to manage your work from home, the office? What is that you want? What is that existing that you are going? What is that you do as of now to track the work? So it could be spreadsheet, all this thing, not very necessary at the initial stage. You click on everything and click on continue. And what's something you and your team are currently working on? So let us say you will write it as this is your office, or you can write C office, and you can click on continue. Next, what are the few tasks that you have to do for C office? You don't have to fill it, you just can click continue. Then they will ask what are the columns you want to have. So initially there is this three columns what they offer, that is to do, in progress, or hold, review, all those things. So you can change it as far as your requirement. To do, in progress, and let us say hold. I want to add some more columns as well. I can add it once the dashboard is visible to me. They will ask what is the look I want to have. This initially you can select anything. I personally prefer board view, and I'll click on done. Now this is the place where you're supposed to invite your teammates. So teammates basically refer to your articles and staffs. So ensure that the number is less than 15. If it is more than 15, it is going to be a premium version. So you can invite your employees. So any email ID, then you will write gmail.com. Once you do this, uh, your staff will get an email. They need to accept it, then they can join your team. So I will say take me to my project. So once I say me to my project, they will ask uh, what is that I want. I will say uh, continue with the free trial. I want to continue with the free trial as of now. I don't want to pay for anything, at least as of now. Or I'll say continue with the limited version. You should click on continue with the limited version. That is a basic plan. So this is the board view that what you're going to have. So there are certain default tasks, you can delete it. So that is just for your reference how it has to be created. You can delete all those basic tasks. And this is the view you're going to have: to do, in progress, hold. If you want to add one more column, you can just click here and you can add review and so on. Next, everything what you can do I have already explained at the beginning. So this is how you create the task. So as far as Asana is concerned, this is it. It is as simple as this. And if members spend 1 week of time, then they will get used to this, and uh, they will get to know certain more features as well, which is not explained in this particular video. Continuing, now let us talk about the second part of it. So we have learned how to integrate, or how to create Asana account. We'll also talk about how can we open a Clockify account. All that you have to do is go to Google, type Clockify, and a website will open. So click on this website, open the website, and click on get started. It's free. So again, Asana is free for first 15 users, but Clockify is free for unlimited members. So there are certain basic features and there are certain advanced features. So I believe that for a CEO office to get started, free version is more than enough. Get started, it's free. So once you click on that, they will ask your email ID and password for signing up purpose. Now you have to give the same email ID what you have given for opening your Asana account. So in my case, I have given my email ID, that is ca.mangalore123 at gmail.com. The same email ID I'm going to give here as well. So password I'm going to create, and I will say I create a free account. Now the account is created. Next thing what I'm supposed to do, is I have to link this software. Whether it is automatically linked, it is not automatically linked. I need to link these two softwares. Now how this linking has to happen is by way of adding an extension. Now how do I add the extension? I'll again open one more tab and I'm going to write that Clockify Chrome extension. So I'm going to type Clockify Chrome extension. If you're using Firefox, you can have Firefox extension as well, but this is the extension. So you have to click on this, and I have to say add to Chrome. I have to add it to Chrome, and I will say add extension. So it will take some time for it to get installed, and it will be added to Chrome. And once this is added, there are some small technical things that you are supposed to do. So first thing is your extension should come in your address bar. So here you don't see any Clockify related extension. So what you are supposed to do is you are supposed to click on the black extension mark here, and here it is not blue in color. Click on it. So you are going to pin this extension to your address bar. So here, if you can see, here is the Clockify extension which is added. Click on it again, and here this is the integration part. Here you are supposed to add the same email ID. So I'm going to click ca mangalore at 123, and whatever the password I gave it for Clockify, I'm typing it here and I'm creating login. So once I do that, the integration is successful. So all that I have to do is going back here, and I'm going to create a task, partnership registration, and the task is open. Now the integration is successful. I can see start timer here. But if I click on start timer here, and again, after a while, if I click the start timer, if members can see, the timer is running. I'll show where it is running. So if you can see here, the 9 seconds, what you can see, the timer has started to run. So I can stop the task here, or I can stop the task within my asana, which is already explained earlier. But if I click on stop timer, if you do it, you will not get any error. But if your staffs are trying to do the same thing, then they may encounter some difficulties. So I'll already give you the solution how to solve those difficulty. All that you have to do is you have to go to your Clockify account, open your settings, and go to workspace. And in the workspace, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to enable for everyone. So here it is automatically everyone, but here who can create the projects and client, here also you need to make it as everyone. And once it is done, then uh, Asana Clockify integration is successful. Even your employees can get started with this. So this was entire session about how you can create Asana account right from the scratch, how you can create Clockify account right from the scratch, how do you invite your staffs, how you can create start application or start timer and stop timer. And at the very end, I want to say that all these applications you can use in your mobile phone as well. With this, we come to the end of this particular session. And if you have any question to ask, you can reach me out via email, which I'm going to drop in the description box, or you can also reach me out with the help of LinkedIn. Again, the URL I'm going to put it in the description box. Thank you so much for watching this, and if there is any queries, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you.